Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Divinandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunadan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalidam Shvishagan Vidam Sam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kandam Radha Kandam Namastude Taptaka Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabana Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacham Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna once again. So, back to our classes. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3. And today's verses are
39, 40, 41.
Yes. So, read 39 now. Avridam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Avridam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Avridam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina Kama Rupena Kaunteya Dushpurena Nalena Cha. Yes, Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Avrutam Jnanametena Jnanino Nitya Vairina Kamarupena Kaundeya Dushpurena
Nalena Cha. Dushpurena na Analena Cha.
Dushpurena Analena Cha.
Okay, Dushpurena Analena Cha. Okay, right. Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Avridam Jnanamedena Jnanino Nitya Vairina Kamarupena Kaundeya Dushpurena Nalena Cha.
Right, Hare Krishna. Yes, Ravi Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च. हरे कृष्ण.
Right. Okay, right. Renuga Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amritam Jnanametena Jnanino Nityavairina Kamarupena Kaunteya Dushpurena Analena Cha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Chandra.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च.
Right.
हरे
Good.
कृष्णा
Okay.
प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Kiremya Maji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Reward. Signa Maji, right on time.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maji. Yes, you can read the verse 39.
Yes, Prabhuji. Abhrutang jnanam metena jnanino nitya bairinam kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Right, Hare Krishna. Right. Okay. Krishna, you can read the translation.
Thus a man's pure consciousness is covered by his internal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. 40. Indriyani mano buddhir asyadishthanamuchyate eter vimohyatyesham jnanamavritya dehinam. Indriyani mano buddhir asyadishthanamuchyate eter vimohyatyesham jnanamavritya dehinam. Indriyani mano buddhi asyadishthanamuchyate eter vimohyatyesham jnanamavritya dehinam. Right, Hare Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna. इंद्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिर अस्य अधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोह्यत्येषा मोह्यत्येषा ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्.
Right. Hare Krishna. Right. Redugamaji.
Indriyani mano buddhir asyadi seshtanu mochyate etair
Vimohayatyesham. Vimohayatyesham.
Esha jnanamavrita dehinam.
Okay, right. Hare Krishna. Chandra. Okay, she's not even hearing. She's very busy doing maths or painting.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिरस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येष ज्ञानम् आवृतदेहिनम्.
Right, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Indriyani manobhutir asyadhisthanamuchyate etaiर्विमोहयत्येषा ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्.
Right, okay. Stigdamaji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
इंद्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिरधिष्ठानम् उच्यते एते विमोहयतेष ज्ञानमावृतदेहिनम्.
Right.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Krishna.
इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिर् तिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येष ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Right. Okay, Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Difficult.
Indriyani manobudhir asyaadhisthanamuchyate ede vimohayatyesha jnanamavritya dehinam.
Hare Krishna. Right.
അവന്റെ പേര് വിളിച്ചില്ല പറയണേ പ്രഭു.
Sorry. What's his name?
കാർത്തിക്.
Okay, Karthik, you read. Karthik can read now. Hare Krishna. You tell Hare Krishna. That's enough. Tell Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very good. All right. Very well. Jai. Right. Chandra, you have read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Renugamaji, everyone has read. Okay, right. The translation, Renugamaji can read.
The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust, which veils the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him.
Okay, right. Verse 41. Tasmat tumindriyanyado niyamya bharadashava papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Tasmat tum indriyanyado niyamya bharadashava papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Tasmat tum indriyanyado niyamya bharadashava Papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Yes, Snigdha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare
तस्मात्
Krishna.
त्वम् इन्द्रियाणि आदौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्नानं प्रजहिह्यनं ज्ञान विज्ञान नाशनम्. हरे कृष्ण
Right.
प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Renugamaji.
Tasmat tvam indriyanyado niyamai bharatarshaba papamanam prajahi enam jnana vijnana nashanam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right.
Krishna.
Okay. Karthik.
Karthik.
Please read. Karthik, please read. Karthik, yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Jai, Jai, Jai. Good boy. Okay, Krishna. Hare Krishna.
तस्मात् त्वमिन्द्रियाणि यान्यदौ नियम्य भरतर्षभा पाप्मान प्रजहिह्यनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्.
Okay, right. Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Tasmat tvam indriyaanyadau niyamya bharadashava pabmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, right. Chandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
तस्मात् त्वम् इन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभा पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्.
Okay, right. Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna.
Tasmat tvam indriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahityenam jnana vijnana nashanam.
Right. Okay. Hare Krishna. Devu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
तस्मात् त्वम् इन्द्रियाण्याद्यौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजह्योनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Krishna. You can read the translation also.
Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Hare Krishna.
Right. Avardam jnanamedena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Thus the wise living entities, pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. So, Krishna is answering Arjuna's question. Very nice question Arjuna has put forward. What is the question of Arjuna? What is his question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Maharaji.
Arjuna says that the person is not willing to do the sin, but how he is doing the sin.
Yes. He's not willing, somehow he's compelled to do, isn't it? He's compelled to do this. Something is compelling him.
Yes, yes.
So he wants to know what is that thing that forces him to do his sinful activities.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, you remember nicely. So Krishna answers what the real enemy or who is compelling this innocent and living entity, not innocent, the bonded living entity. What is the factor of which is a thing that compels or impels the living entity? What is his answer?
Prabhuji, Kama Isha Krodha is Rajat Guna Samadbhava.
Yes.
Kama and Krodha is putting a person into
in this situation of
sinful. Yes, the situation of
sinful activities. He is asking, he is promoting or prompting this person to do sinful activities. And some description of Kama is given in the next verse. Mahashana Mahapama. Mahashana means is now satisfied. He burns up everything, eats up everything. Nothing can satisfy him. And is because of that he's very sinful and vidi eneha vairinam. So he is an enemy of the living entity. And some covering is given how the kama, lust, covers the living entity's knowledge. 3 layers of covering is there. 3 gradations, thin, thick, and deep. Which are these coverings?
Fire covered by smoke.
Yes.
Then mirror covered with dust.
Yes.
And the fetus enveloped in the womb.
Yes, right. Since you're a doctor, I remember the shlok very nicely because something's connected with the gynecology. So, very nice. So these are the situation where the first covering is very thin. You can see some activities, Krishna conscious activities going on. Only thin layer of smoke is there. And once the smoke is cleared, then the clear Krishna consciousness will emerge. In the case of dust covering the mirror.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is given that when fire is covered by smoke, just you can blow it and it will just clean up. But when a mirror is covered with dust, you need a cloth or something to clean the mirror. Yes, Prabhuji. Then when embryo is covered by the womb, then you need an
Tweezers,
instrument
tweezers,
to.
some instrument to
Yes,
cut it
yes,
off.
Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes. So that is a nice way of expressing these things. Yes, in case of mirror, you need water, you need some brush or some clothes, something is there. And it is more thicker than the smoke. An embryo is a very helpless situation. Inside this one, it is very helpless, cannot even move. So karma is binding this living entity. He has lost all consciousness. His consciousness is zero now. So that's why people, we say that when people are very lusty, you can be very sure that in their next life, they'll end up as some trees or plants in living open spaces. So it will happen. So now in this verse, Krishna says that why the lust is unsatisfied. Kamarubena kaunteya dushpuren analena cha. Is very now satisfied, burns like a fire. Fire cannot be extinguished by putting some ghee in it. Because fire likes ghee. Somebody putting ghee into fire, it will only burn more brightly and more ferociously. Same way, the karma is covering the eternal knowledge of the living entity and makes him forget that he is a soul and makes him identify with matter. So in the material world, and puts him in the material world, and this material world is known as Maitunya Agara. Maitunya Agara. Maitunya Agara means sex life. Sex life is most prominent in the material world, and people are born by this lust. So normally this is like a prison. Agara means also prison or chain. You're bound by this chain. You're tied by the chain. So normally in prison is there, and where unruly citizens who is not obedient to state laws, they are put there for reformation. And after some time, they are taken out of the jail. But unfortunately, the same criminal again commits some time, again he ends up in jail. Because his this tendency to commit sinful activities, or like say stealing or arson or kidnapping or making murder, so many things, so many criminal activities, so much there that he is not able to control himself and ends up frequently in the jail. So people, they think that karma can be satisfied by increasing the facilities, material facilities. Okay. If somebody gives you a nice dress, very nice dress, and a nice cell phone, you like it, isn't it? How long you will be satisfied with that? You wear it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And this craze slowly erases, isn't it? How many times you like to wear a new dress, Krishna? First time you love it, isn't it? Second time also you love it. But third or fourth or fifth time, you don't have the same kind of happiness. Your happiness is getting reduced. So in economics, there's a principle called diminishing marginal utility. Diminishing marginal utility. If somebody has studied economics, they'll know that. Diminishing marginal utility. So suppose somebody gives you an ice cream. He eats ice cream nicely. So suppose it is a 10 point something is there for satisfaction level, it's 10 points. The next ice cream gives you only 8. And then slowly it gets reduced. Same way, all the facilities, okay, if a cell phone also, you get a nice cell phone. You find so many features, nice features in it, nice sound, audio is good, video camera is very good, and GB or whatever it is, storing capacity is also very, very, very big, and appearance is very nice, very nice color. You enjoy this for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months. Then you find a new model in the market. Then you'll get like to go for that, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
This happens. So if you think that karma or lust can be satisfied by advancement in materialism, new inventions, and scientists are there who invent so many things, useless things, which is not at all necessary. But when they invent these useless things, the people behind them promoting them, the big capitalists, the marketing specialists, they do some advertisement and they make you feel that is necessary. They make you feel that even cigarette smoking, sometimes they convince you in such a manner that it's good. Drinks, they said, it's very nice. If you take only 1 or 2 pegs, it's very nice for your sleep, it's nice for your heart and all that. So many advertisements you'll find like this. People are tempted to buy this. But because the lust is a symbol of ignorance. It is ignoring, it is covering the real knowledge of the living entity, by which he understands that he himself to be part of Krishna. That is totally wiped out. Only business is to sense gratification. Nunam Pramadi, and Rishabhade Maharaj, he tells his sons that this is actually madness. This is madness only. Pramatha means madness. Living entities, they are somehow caught in the cycle. And because of their tendency to increase happiness, they enter and they do some abominable activities. Actually, the verse is very nice. Nunam pramadha kurite vikarma. Kurite vikarma. Vikarma means that karma which is not mentioned, not sanctioned in Vedas. It is not sanctioned in Vedas. That kind of karma which is only meant for indriya priti, for only sense gratification. Such kind of karma, we are very happy indulging in that. So this is called pramatha, madness. Even now you are unhappy. Somehow you are struggling. But add to that, you want to enjoy your sense gratification. Your klesha, your miseries will double. Instead of bringing happiness, this material advancement or the lust will bring you more unhappiness, sorrow, miseries. These are temporary in nature. So, giving the real nature of karma, dushpurena analena cha, is nitya vairina. It's an eternal enemy of the living entity. This is the real nature of karma. Having defined the karma in so many ways, then Krishna now tells Arjuna, if you are interested in defeating this karma, suppose you want to conquer the enemy, what we should know?
His
For time
weakness,
being,
his weakness, Prabhuji.
Yes, his weakness. And first of all, you have to identify where he is. Suppose you want to conquer him, you should know where he is.
Yes, yes.
Because now you don't know, somehow some attack is coming up. This kind of, what do you call, guerrilla warfare. the guerrilla warfare, you never know when the attack is coming up. Unseen, suddenly, the enemy will come and attack you. Because you don't know where he is. Same way, you don't know where actually karma is situated. Why karma is, why I am affected by karma. We don't know where karma is. So, if you want to conquer karma, then you should know where it is. And so Krishna advising Arjuna the real places where karma, the lust is residing. And next was Indriyani Mano Buddhir Asya Adhishthana Muchyade. The first place of residence of lust is senses. The second place of residence is mind. And the third place of residence is intelligence. Naturally, senses, especially the knowledge gathering senses, senses are the first thing to identify the sense objects, isn't it? Some music is going on. Some music is going on. The ear captures that. Some nice movie is going on TV or next nearby theater. The eyes will like relish that. You walk in a garden, aromatic smell is there from flowers. The nose catches that. Or you go to a clothes shop, a textile shop, you find some nice thick blanket, fur blankets. You keep your hands on the fur blanket and nice feeling is there. The sense of touch is there. And the taste, of course, So the senses first enjoys or understands sense objects. And this memory of these sense objects is gathered in the mind. So mind is a storehouse of all the desires that crop up in the mind. And once you enjoy something, some situations, then mind comes up with some ideas. Oh, you can enjoy it this way, isn't it? You can enjoy in a different way. So mind creates some ideas. Actually, that you are not enjoyed. Experience that. But mind gives you some idea. Why don't you enjoy? Why don't you experience this way also? So mind having got the reciprocity of other senses of the sense objects, then generate some fresh ideas. And intelligence sanctions that. Next is intelligence. Intelligence says that's a very good idea. Nice. So mind is deciding and intelligence is substantiating, confirming this. Because now my intelligence is now, it's a lusty intelligence. And intelligence is a next neighbor nearest to the soul, next door neighbor. Srila Prabhupada mentions that is an immediate next door neighbor of the spirit soul. In verse number 42, you'll find this. So intelligence influences the spirit soul, and the spirit soul identifies itself with the matter, the senses and the mind. Although soul has got nothing to do with senses and this mind, which are very temporary and which is external energy. Soul is part of which energy?
Superior energy, Prabhuji, God's superior energy.
Yes, superior energy. It's called internal energy. Internal energy. In Sanskrit, that Sanskrit word is Antaranga Shakti. Antaranga Shakti. Parashakti is Para. Para means superior. Because it is internal energy of Krishna, it is superior. The external energy of Krishna is called Bahiranga Shakti, which is inferior. So matter is external energy, living entity is superior energy. But since the living entity is now bewildered by the intelligence, he considers himself to be matter. So this is where the false ego is coming up. I am this body. This false ego is coming generated out of this only. So this false identification of spirit soul is very nicely given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, in one of the verses on 10th chapter, it is quoted in the Papa Srila Prabhupada. He says that, who am I? Somebody is asking, who am I? Immediately I identify my gross body. This is me. This body is me. 5 feet 7 inches, 65 kilo weight. This is my age. And all those things, we identify ourselves and with this body. And this body is what? Comprising of 3 dhatus, 3 elements. Which are these 3 elements?
Kapha, Pitta, and Vata.
Yes. Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. And actually, this you can say Kapha is actually phlegm, and that is affecting your upper parts. Pitta is affecting your stomach and this liver areas, so the middle part. And Vata, it affects your legs and all that. No, knees. So Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, these are the elements. If they are in good balance, if it's nice proportion, your body is in a nice shape, good shape. But it will not be in good proportion. There will always be imbalance. And because of the imbalance, you are suffering. Okay, that is one aspect. This is a different aspect. Ultimately, what happens is that this body is made of these 3 elements, and this gross body actually is it's a dead thing. It is not living thing. It is not sentient, insentient. Kunape means actually it's dead body. Kunape means dead body. Jada in Sanskrit is called Jada. Jada means that thing that doesn't have a life. So matter actually doesn't have a life. When the living entity, which is life, enters this Jada, then this Jada becomes active. Same way, the super soul, which enters the whole universe, then this whole universe becomes active. But human beings think when you are inside this, then you feel that I'm this body, and that is I. Then who is mine? I and mine. Mine is my wife, my children, my bank balance, my properties, my animals, all those things. Another mine is where I am born, the country in which I am born. And for I feel that this country where I am born is worshipable. So mostly people, all those social leaders, politicians, they try to whip up this emotion of nationalism, our country. One great statement or politician was there in America, Benjamin Franklin. He was telling, my country, whether she is right or wrong, hope she is right, he says. Whatever it is, I support my country only. My country comes first. Can be right, my country can be right, my country can be wrong, but I don't care. My country comes first. Everybody thinks that the country in which we are born is the greatest thing. We forget that this birth we may be born in India, and next birth we may be born in Japan, sometimes in England, UK, some other places, maybe outside this Brahmandam also. So then how will you identify yourself? But as long as we are in this body, we are in one particular place, we think that this is a great thing. Then if you go to, some people go for pilgrimage, visit some dhams. Have you ever been to pilgrimage, Krishna?
What, Prabhu?
You have gone to some, what you call religious places, dham, like say Rameshwaram, no, Udupi, Vrindavan. Haridwar, Rishikesh. So many places. Prayaga is there, Puri is there, Navadvip is there. So many places. Badrinath is there. So these are called pilgrimage, tirthas. Tirthas means which purifies you, because it is spiritual and vibrant vibration is much there in these areas. Why? Because there's so many vibrant people, many spiritualists, Babajis are living there, and there's pure water also, Ganga and Yamuna. These are pure, what we call very sanctified rivers are flowing, and if you take a dip in the sanctified rivers, you'll be purified. But other than that, you have to take the association of very learned, self-realized persons living there. Then only you'll get the ultimate benefit. But most of the people, they don't do that. They feel that if you go to pilgrimage, take a dip in Ganges, take a dip in Yamuna, take a dip in what I call our Bharatapura. This is enough. Nothing more is required. So this is a person who is totally engrossed in his body concept. The living entity, when he is covered by lust, he considers himself a body. So after defining the places of residence where the karma is residing, then Krishna advises Arjuna how to conquer this. How to conquer this karma. Tasmatum indriyana yado. So start with senses. You have to start with senses. So how do you engage your senses? Because if your senses are idle, now you can understand that we started with jnani only. Jnani means what is the process of the jnani? Which method he uses? Which process he uses? This chapter is karma yoga. We are dealing with karma yoga, isn't it? Krishna remember this karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Now, Arjuna, the starter discussion is Arjuna has got some confusion whether you should follow the karma yoga or whether you should follow the jnana yoga. So, what is karma yoga and what is jnana yoga? Yes, you can say. You know. Karma means what? What is karma?
Duty.
Karma means action. Karma means action. You have to act. Everybody has to act. Even for living, they have to act. Speaking is an action. So, without action, you cannot live. But mere action cannot be called as karma. Action which is ordained by the Vedas, which is in the system, this is called karma, which is what they call prescribed duties, where you have this varnashrama is there, and you follow these prescribed duties. So that is karma yoga. But then when you are following prescribed duties, there should not be a sense of enjoyment. That is where you call nishkama karma yoga. So nishkama karma yoga means do your duty, whether you are a doctor, you are an engineer, you are a teacher, or a banker, or an engineer, whatever it is, whoever you are, you discharge your duty. Now this varnashrama is no longer there, but now you have to make a living, and you are making a living by doing some profession. You do the action. When you are indulging some action, your senses are engaged in that. Now the jnana yogi, he doesn't work. He is rejecting this karma. He says karma is born of ignorance, and karma will only lead you to shackles. So he is resisting, he is withdrawing from karma. Then what is he doing? He is focusing on this Atma, reading books, Upanishads, Vedants, Vedanta Sutra, everything, and then trying to meditate on the soul inside, thinking that I am Brahmasmi. But unfortunately, what happens is that the senses are become idle, and senses are craving for happiness, enjoyment, and the jnani cannot satisfy this senses. So naturally, this jnani's process is very risky, because ultimately the senses will overcome even the strong willpower of a person. You remember any verse connected with that? Even the strong will of a very strong person will be defeated by the senses. It is coming the second chapter, verse I think 60. Verse 60. Is it? Yadado hi kaunteya purushasya vibhaschidaha indriyani pramathani harandi prasabhammana. Even though the learned person, the same 34 is also the 33 is same. Sadam cheshte susyaha prakriti jnanamanavi. Sadasham cheshte susyaha prakriti jnanamanavi. Because you are used to sense enjoyment for you so many lifetimes. So if you keep your sense idle, naturally it will overpower you. So that is why Krishna says that don't fall for this jnana yoga. It is not good for you. You try to engage your senses in your prescribed duties. That's a best way to control the initial step is to control your senses by engaging the senses, not stopping the senses. Jnanis, they try to stop the senses from going behind these sense objects. In Ashtanga yoga, it is called what is it called? Yama Niyama, Pranayama, Asana Pranayama.
Dhyana, Dharana, Pratyahara.
No, Pratyahara. Pratyahara.
Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi.
Yes.
Dhyana,
So
Dharana,
Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So let's try once more. That is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So Pratyahara means withdrawing or stopping the senses from going behind these sense objects. Actually, that is sense gratification. When the sense and sense objects come together, that is called sense gratification. So jnanis try to stop the senses from going behind this sense objects, but they fail because you cannot stop the senses. You can only engage senses. You can engage senses in your regulated works and then use the senses for regulated sense satisfaction, which is ordained by these Vedas. Okay, regulated enjoyment. Like if you want to have the sex, you get married, and the marriage only in marriage only you enjoy the sex, and that also in very prescribed conditions only, not just like the you entrance. No. So Krishna says that niyamya. Niyamya means regulate your senses for your body maintenance and for your sensual enjoyment also in a regulated way. And then naturally the mind will also come to control the intelligence also. And slowly, when you do this work, slowly you get purification. This is a papmana prajaha henam jnana vijnana nashanam. Because this is a way to conquer this lust. And why you have to conquer lust? Because it's jnana vijnana nashanam. What is jnana? What is vijnana?
Intelligence.
Yes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yes, knowledge. Knowledge of what? What is that knowledge? What is that knowledge? What is it? Correct knowledge?
No.
Yes, we are not this body. We are, because knowledge about ourselves. The right knowledge of ourselves. Self-knowledge. That is called jnana. And self-knowledge is that who am I? Am I this body or am I something different? So we are not this body. So we are soul. So that is called jnana. And what is vijnana?
That we are not knowing about our body.
Say, coming closer. Jnana actually is theoretical because you accept after reading the scriptures and all that, you come to understand that we are not this body, we are soul only. But Vijnana means you have to understand more about the soul. What is the constitutional position of soul? What is the real nature of the soul? If you understand the real nature of the soul, then you know that is Vijnana. And the real nature of the soul is that it is a part of Krishna. It is a Krishna's servitor only. It has to serve Krishna. So when you understand that, that is called self-realization. That is called Vijnana. So Vijnana means practical because now there comes action again. This action is pure action because it is action generated from our soul, which is a natural for soul, to engage in devotion service. So that is jnana and vijnana. But when the lust covers this, it covers lust, jnana, vijnana. These are destroy of jnana, vijnana. So to destroy that karma, which is destroying our jnana, vijnana. By how? By controlling the senses or engaging the senses. So, Krishna says, Srila Prabhupada said that actually lust is actually a perverted version of love only. So, but if you are very young age itself, you are educated in Krishna consciousness, it is very easy for you to conquer lust. Now you are very fortunate. You are very young, 7 years, 8 years only. At the very young age, you are understanding this Bhagavad Gita, okay, in little way only, not very deeply, but you understand something. You understand something. You know something about Krishna. You know something about yourself. You know something about Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti, and all those things. Then you are very fortunate. Then you know you should not blindly go behind sense gratification. There is something superior in your life to achieve. So that is the advantage of living entity entering to spiritual life in a very early age. That's why mothers and parents, they should encourage the children like your mother is doing, like Chandra's mother, encouraging the children that, okay, you may not like the class always. You get some restlessness. You want to go out and play. You want to play, chat with your friends. These are there. But then again, you are sitting very nice, quietly for 1 hour and listening to this. And slowly, slowly, something will be entering your heart through your ears. Shravanam, it's called Shravanam. You are listening. And the more attentively you listen, you will develop the taste for this. Then out of that, you will develop the real knowledge. And by the time you are 10 years, 15 years and all that, you would have heard the Bhagavad Gita 3 or 4 times. You will be have a good knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and can give classes on Bhagavad Gita also to others. So, second advantage of entering the spiritual life is that you can help others because you got the knowledge now. By the time you're 15 or 18, you got very good knowledge. And with that knowledge, you can distribute this knowledge to others and help others to come to Krishna consciousness. So in that case, you become very dear to Krishna. Krishna will be very happy with you because you are distributing the knowledge. Now you are learning knowledge itself very good, but you are distributing knowledge to others. That is what Krishna likes. Krishna makes it very clear in the 18th chapter. There is nobody more dearer to me than the person who distributes or preaches the knowledge instructions I have given. So that is the advantage of a young person entering the Krishna consciousness, because many years we can teach others. But persons entering late, for them it will be difficult because so many years you are in sense gratification, so many things are there, and the freshness will not be there. But for them, if they are very serious, you understand the seriousness of the thing, then it is also easy for them. It is urgency that you have to feel. This is not some academic class which is given in the classes. You have to understand this, and this is very, very vital for the critical knowledge about yourself. So this critical knowledge, if you accept it very humbly, submissively, then that will help you to wipe out all your anarthas which you have gathered in this life and previous lives. So it's never wasted. So everybody will be benefited by the instruction of Krishna, which is contained in Bhagavad Gita. And we are only into third chapter. There's so many instructions Krishna is giving. So we have to learn everything. So thank you very much. Any clarification, any questions?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
tell me what is Nishkama Karma Yoga?
Yes. Karma Yoga, actually the Karma Yoga actually means Nishkama only. But we are making it very precise. Karma means, as you know, action and not mere action. The prescribed duties. And as the Varnas is there, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, everybody has got their own work. When you are doing that work with the intention of enjoyment, getting some benefits out of that, that is called fruitive activity, fruitive work, because you are interested in the result. Nishkama means you are not very bothered about the results. You are just discharging your duty as a matter of duty only, discharging your work as a matter of duty, without craving for results, without having an enjoyment mentality. And that can happen only when you do it for the benefit of Krishna. That is come later. But Nishkaman actually only means that, basically means that we are doing you are discharging prescribed duties without an intention of enjoyment or without having a desire for the results. Nishkama means without desires. Desire of fruitive activity, for material desires. For example, doctor is there. Doctors, this one is what you have to treat the patients. But you should not be very, very, very bothered about what will happen. Why I'm giving some treatment, I'm giving some prescribing, I'm doing some diagnosis, I'm giving the prescribed medicines. Will my patient be all right? That anxiety should not be there. You are treating the patient, okay? That is your duty. But you should not be very bothered that the patient should merely get right. There are different parameters, different aspects for that. Or you should not feel that I make a rolling practice, I can get much money out of this. If I become successful, then I'll be famous. Then more and more patients will come to me, and I'll get more money. No. So anybody, engaged in the profession or any work should do it without any attachment to results, without attachment for success or failure. You should not be bothered about, you should not be afraid of failure. You should not crave for success. Let the result be anything. So that is Nishkama.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right. Thank you. Okay, Ravi Prabhu.
So
Yeah, you can start Kirtan. Narasimha Kirtan.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Ladlaine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shilatan Kanakhalaye To Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato yami tato narsimha bahe narsimha hirdaye narsimha narasimha madim sharanam prapadye tava kara kamalavare nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narsimha Dev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Vishnam Bhadram Mrityam Mrityam Namamiyam Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Vishnam Bhadram Mrityam Mrityam Namamiyam Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Vishnam Bhadram Mrityam Mrityam Namamiyam Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Shri Narsimha Prahladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Vringa Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Shri Narsimha Prahladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Vringa Shri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Shri Narsimha Prahladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Vringa
शुद्ध भक्ति विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की वैष्णव भक्त शेष महाराज की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे कृष्णा कार्तिक वांचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः।
नंदगुड़ी वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
हमाचार्य दास ठाकुर की
जय।
लीला प्रभात की
जय।
हरि बोल। Thank you very much. Bye. See you.